They know you're the one, but there is something they have not fully overcome within themselves yet. This person knows your energy is rare. They know you're not someone they can simply replace. But the reason they haven't fully moved forward may reveal more about their inner world than about your worth. Honestly. Hello, beautiful, beautiful soul. And welcome back to Celestial Oracle Codes. Take a deep breath with me. Because today's message is coming through with a very specific energy. They know you're the one, but and that but is important. Because for many of you, this is not a situation where this person simply does not feel anything. This is not necessarily a situation where they do not recognize your value. This is not necessarily a situation where they are completely unaware of the connection, the pull, the bond, the chemistry, the emotional depth, or the spiritual significance between you. And for many of you, this person knows, they know you are different. They know your energy is rare. They know the connection does not feel like everybody else. And they know there's something about you that touched a deeper part of them. So the issue is not just whether they know. The issue is, are they ready to choose what they know? Because knowing someone is special and being ready to honor that person are two very different levels of maturity. Knowing someone is the one and becoming the version of yourself who can actually show up for that person are two very different initiations. And that is the energy we are reading today. Very interesting. That over here at the top, because that's going to lead our way. All right, so the truth somehow has been revealed and is coming very much out. I don't know how it is. But ultimately, you've seen the truth, or the truth has been revealed to you in some way. So, this is not a reading to put your life on hold. This is not a reading to convince you to wait endlessly. This is not a reading to tell you to chase, beg, or prove, or overextend. This is a reading to help you understand what is going on beneath the surface and what this person may know internally and what the blockage is and how you are being guided to stand in your power now. So this literally is a reading to reveal the truth. As always, this is a general collective reading, so please only take what resonates and leave what does not. Tarot and oracle readings are spiritual guidance, reflection, and energetic insight. So they're not a replacement for your own discernment, your own choices, or professional advice. And above all else, your sovereignty, your self-authority, your self-led, self-leadership, your self-direction, I'll say that, is what comes first. So let's open this message. Let's open it clearly. Let's get some cards out here so we have a storyline, right? Let's see where we're going with it. Okay. Okay. Leading to, I don't know. All right. Let's see where we go from here. All right. So, the current energy between you and this person feels emotionally loaded. It does. There's something here that has not dissolved, and that's the truth. Even if there has been distance, even if there has been silence, even if this person has acted casual, even if they tried to minimize the connection, and even if they moved strangely, inconsistently, or confusingly, there's an energetic imprint here, and this person has not forgotten what they felt with you. They may not even know how to explain it. So, they may not even like how vulnerable it makes them feel. But your energy created a mark, and I keep hearing they compare without wanting to admit that they compare. So what that means is when they meet other people and make other decisions in regards to relationships or people in general, interact with other people or try to move forward casually, some part of them notices the difference. Mm-hmm. And that means that they notice that the emotional depth is not the same. The spiritual pull is not the same. The sense of being seen is not the same. They know that there's something missing on an emotional level here in all those other choices. They noticed that the conversation is not the same. And for some of you, this person may have tried to convince themselves that the connection was just chemistry, timing, fantasy, attraction, or intensity. But over time, they started realizing, no, that it was different. And that realization is beautiful, but it's also confronting. Because once someone realizes that your energy is rare, they also have to face how they handled it. And they have to start working on themselves. They have to start working on the way that they're showing up in the world. And they have to start working on whatever reality they've created for themselves. They have to really become the master over how their actions and how their behavior is what I'm hearing is creating shifts and changes in their life and in their world, changing ways that the world is seeing them and changing ways that the world is relating to them and responding to them. I'm hearing. So they have to face where they were immature. They have to face where they ran. They have to face where they withheld. They have to face where they lied, I'm hearing for some of you. They have to face where they chose comfort over courage. They have to face the possibility that they may have mishandled someone who genuinely cared about them. And that is where the but comes in. Because this person knows you're not ordinary. So they're seeing a higher truth. There's something that they admire about you here. They see the growth. They see you transforming into something more than they knew. Yeah, they know you're not ordinary. They know you're not just someone who shows up to be convenient as well. They know you're not just a surface level connection. They know you have depth. They know you have intuition. They know that you have a deeper intuition that shows you higher truth and gives you discernment, especially in deceptive relationships and relations and interpersonal communications in general. They know you have depth. They know you have intuition. They know you can feel things, even when they don't say them. They know you carry a kind of emotional intelligence that sees through masks. Emotional mastery. And it gives you a deeper insight and a higher expressed self-worth and the embodiment of that worth. And so for some of you, that is part of what scares them. Because you don't just connect with the version of them they present to the world. You connect with what is underneath. You see the hidden grief. You see the fear behind the pride. You see the triggers and the trauma. You see the softness behind the guardedness. And you see the longing behind the silence. You see the real person behind the performance. that can feel deeply healing to someone who is ready, but it can feel deeply intimidating to someone who's still hiding themselves. They know you've come into your power. You've taken your power back. They know you have a heart that is powerful. That's where your power comes from. And they know you're loving. They know you have this deep loving nature. For some of you, they know they're the reason that's standing in the way of this being this. For some of you, they deliberately did this. And so they know you're generous. They know you're loving. They know you're capable of devotion. But they also know you're becoming stronger. They know you're not as easy to access as you may have been before, right? They know that you're ending the cycle of despair, of doubt, worry, fear, trauma, stress, of chaos, of toxicity in your life. They know your energy is becoming less available to confusion. They know your standards are rising. And this is important. They may know you're the one, but they also know you're not the same person they once thought they could delay, test, avoid, or take for granted. They know that you most certainly are not that person anymore. So because you've reached this emotional mastery, right? And it's created strong boundaries that you're enforcing. Okay? You might have went through it. They might have thought they won. That's what this is showing me. But ultimately, it was your emotional mastery and who you truly are coming out in resonance, your frequency, your vibration that would not allow them to tear you down. So you closed out the cycle here. You saw the truth. You started taking balanced action and creating a new world by making better choices, and ultimately worked on creating the life you love while they came to the realization as they watched you grow and transform. So as you transformed into this new self-worth, self-authority, abundance, and overall deservedness, okay, I'm hearing, Emperor energy. And this is Emperor energy embodying King of Pentacles energy. So that's you having outer mastery over your physical world, over your body, over your work, over your financial affairs and money, and just over your reality creation, right? What kind of life are you creating? Are you creating the life you love? Are you doing the things you want to do? Are you manifesting the way that you want to manifest? And is it becoming the tangible things that you are trying to concretize from your thoughts? They may know that taking you for granted is what now sets them apart from the blessings that ultimately would have unfolded in their life. And that is part of what is shifting the energy, because your growth is applying pressure, not through force and not through chasing and not through trying to make them change, right? But through your self-respect. Emperor, King of Pentacles energy. Your self-respect is becoming louder than your longing, and they can feel that. For many of you, this person feels you're the one because you awaken something in them that other people just don't awaken. You may have awakened their heart. You may have awakened their conscience. You may have awakened their desire to be better. but you may have also awakened their triggers, and you may have awakened their fear of true intimacy, and you may have awakened their awareness of destiny, partnership, commitment, or emotional responsibility. You may have awakened their shadow. And that's why this connection is so layered, because sometimes the one doesn't only feel like comfort. Sometimes the one also feels like accountability. And when that accountability presents itself, sometimes the one feels like looking into a mirror and realizing, if I want this, I cannot stay the same. And that is what this person may be facing. And you are not just someone they desire. You are someone who would require them to mature. You're someone who would require honesty. You're someone who would require consistency. You're someone who would require emotional presence. And you're someone who would require them to stop playing games with their own heart. And that is why they may feel the pull but still hesitate. Because deep down they know this connection is not something they can handle casually. They know if they come toward you correctly, it has to mean something. They know if they open the door again, they cannot keep acting like nothing matters. They know if they choose you, they must choose growth too. And that is the part that may be intimidating them. Not because you are too much, but because your energy calls them higher. And it's confronting. It means that they have to take actions to do inner work. Now let's talk about the butt. Let's get us some space here. Let's talk about the butt here. Okay, so because the message is not simply they know you're the one. The message is they know you're the one, but right? They know you're the one, but right? Okay, so they know you're the one, but something in them is not fully aligned with the responsibility of knowing that. Yeah, with the responsibility of that knowing. Okay? Like, and really, when this came out, I put it right side up so you can see it, but it came out like this, right? There's a truth that they're hiding from themselves. They're just not allowing themselves to know it, or they're afraid of the knowing. For some of you, the but is fear. So the fear of rejection, the fear that they waited too long, they just don't know enough. Okay? And what they know is not the truth as well. So, the fear that you see them differently now, I'm hearing for some of you, the fear that they cannot meet your standards, fear that they will fail you, fear that if they come back, they will have to explain themselves. Okay? For others, the but is pride. A lot of pride here. Okay? They don't want to admit that they were wrong. They don't want to be the first to reach out. They don't want to look vulnerable. They don't want to give you the satisfaction of knowing how deeply they feel. But the truth is, pride can become a prison. And this person may be realizing that protecting their ego costs them emotional closeness. And it's causing a rift in their reality. It's cutting out their fulfillment and their happiness, their harmonious relationship, ultimately. King of Swords energy. So there may be unfinished business in their life. And it's getting in the way, or it got in the way of them seeing your worth. There may be career issues, family pressure, distance, responsibilities, emotional healing, or another situation that has complicated their ability to move forward. This is tangible, something in the physical, pentacle. And ultimately, it is affecting, on a core level, how worthy they feel of you or of the happiness that comes from you. So there's something in them, or something they're experiencing in the physical world that's affecting them internally, that is complicating their ability to move forward. I'm hearing confirmation received. Thank you. Oh wow. And so, but even with timing, the guidance is still grounded. Okay? Timing may explain delay, but it does not excuse disrespect. And let's be clear, this shows that this is something that they have either experienced for a long time, or it's something that has caused chaos between the two of you for quite some time. And for others, this is emotional immaturity. So this is a lack of caring, nurturing support for others, or just having the growth and the emotional maturity to approach things from a nurturing and supportive way. And so this screams emotional maturity, emotional immaturity. They may know what they feel, but not know how to communicate it. They don't know how to display those emotions. They may want closeness, but panic when closeness becomes real. They may want love, but only when it does not demand vulnerability. And they may want you, but not know how to sustain their emotional responsibility of choosing you. Interesting. And for some, this person's but is that they are still attached to an old identity. Some old form or old way of being and acting that is hindering their progress, their growth, or their happiness and fulfillment in life. And they are so tied to the egoic expression and the fundamental programming and saturation of that state of being or that persona that they literally can't see the dysfunctionality that it's caused or is causing in their life. So this screams that this person needs to master their actions and see exactly how their actions have affected themselves and others and how they will affect them in the long term to come. So this is also showing how quickly the reaction can come from the universe when our actions are not, I'm hearing, balanced and or higher vibrational and for the highest good of all. Okay, so ultimately, for some of you, this person's but is that they are still attached to this old identity, but they're still attached to being unavailable. They're still attached to the betrayal of their own heart and the betrayal of yours somehow, right? Or maybe they're betraying their true feelings for you. Yeah, that's what it is. They're betraying their true feelings for you, and it's betraying you and them, is what it is. So they're still attached to control. They're still attached to independence as a defense mechanism, and still attached to patterns where they can keep one foot in and one foot out. They still feel like they can control this. So they're still attached to being wanted without being fully accountable. Wow. And your energy does not allow that anymore. So that's why the connection is reaching a pressure point. Because the soul may recognize you, but the personality still has to grow up. And this person definitely still has to grow up. So this person may be afraid that choosing you would change their life. So they're afraid to take the leap of faith. And I showed you that again like that, but it came out like this. So that shows me that it's an immature person that's afraid to take a leap of faith. And it's not because you would control them, and it's not because you would take something from them, but, okay, this is very interesting. But because real love changes the structure of someone's life. The Fool and Wheel of Fortune energy. So they're afraid to take the leap of faith because they know that it would equal a change in their life, and they can't see that it would be a fundamental. Look at this. Like, all of these are the symbols of the wheel turning in your favor. So this is where things start going favorably for them. And because they're stuck in this deceptive energy where they've completely distorted their view of you, their view of how things truly are in reality, and how much you mean to them, right? Well, it's standing in the way of a fundamental shift. So this could be like the new cycle that starts a happily ever after. This is the wheel often starts Ten of Cups energy. So this is where life becomes fulfilling. And because they're stuck in this immature energy, they're stuck in this energy that won't take the leap of faith, that won't acknowledge or smell the roses. See how he has the rose back there way behind his head? Like, he doesn't even see it. He doesn't even acknowledge what he has in the palm of his hand. And it's getting in the way of the shift. Because real love changes the structure of someone's life. And real love asks for honesty. Right? Real love asks for valiant action. Real love asks for emotional presence. Real love asks someone to stop hiding behind distractions and start making decisions. Real love asks someone to become clear. And this person may have felt that with you, they may have felt, if I choose this, I cannot keep living the same way. Right? With you, they may have felt, I'll have to start making decisions. I'll have to really become someone who maybe has a purpose, someone who has a wrangle on desire, someone who's not afraid to smell the roses, someone who isn't afraid to take a leap of faith, right? The Knight of Wands is not afraid to take a leap of faith. The Knight of Wands goes charging in and might actually act a little too quick, right? The Knight of Wands often acts and then thinks about it, okay? That is acting and thinking energy. It's very fast. It's very decisive. And so this shows that there would be a fundamental change, yeah, in the life, in the structure. But ultimately, it would be so fulfilling that that's the unimaginable part. And they're imagining that it would be something destructive for them. So that can be terrifying for someone who has built safety around avoidance, right? And they may also be afraid of being fully seen. Yeah, so they're like, if I choose this, I can't keep living the same way. Because you may see not only their potential, but also their patterns. You may see where they were wounded or are wounded, right? You may see their triggers. You may see where they are inconsistent. You may see how they project their emotions onto others. You may see where they self-sabotage and try to sabotage you, I'm hearing. You may see where they talk themselves out of blessings. And for some people, being seen that clearly feels like love. But for others, it feels like exposure. So part of them may have pulled away, not because they did not feel enough, but because they felt too much. And I want to be very clear, beautiful soul, that that does not mean you should excuse poor behavior. It simply gives context, because sometimes people run from the person who sees their soul because they're not ready to be that honest with themselves. And what they may not be saying is, I know you were different. I know that it was supposed to be this. I know we were supposed to have a harmonious relationship, whatever that means for you. And I know I should have handled you better. I know I felt something real. I know I made it harder than it needed to be. I know my silence confused you. I know I acted like I cared less than I did. I know my actions were hurtful. I know you deserve more clarity. And I know I may have made you feel like you were asking for too much when really I was afraid of giving enough. I know I still think about you. I know I still feel the connection. I know part of me wants to come towards you, but I don't know if I can face what I created. between us, and that is the energy. They can't face this. They created this and they can't face it. And that's the truth. There's recognition here. There's awareness here. There may even be regret here, honestly. But again, awareness is not the same as action. Right? Even if this becomes this and we're ready to take a leap of faith, without this action behind it, there will never be this, and that can never become this. So that's where the power comes in. Because you're not being asked to live inside their unsent confession. You're being asked to live inside your own truth. You're being asked to live inside your own truth. You're being asked to live inside your own truth. Their higher self wants you to know you were not wrong about the depth. You were not crazy for feeling something. You were not imagining the pool. You were not making up the way the energy shifted between you. You were not foolish for sensing that this connection meant more than what was being spoken out loud. But their higher self also wants you to know, do not confuse their recognition with readiness. Again, with readiness. And I'm so glad that it came out again, because it came out both ways. Unreadiness in the last reading and now readiness in this one. So very, very interesting confirmation there. That this is the key message. They may know, they may feel, they may compare, they may miss you, they may see you as the one, but readiness is proven through behavior. And readiness is proven through clarity. And readiness is proven through emotional accountability. Readiness is proven through consistent effort. And readiness is proven through honest communication. So their higher self is not asking you to close your heart, but it is asking you to keep your crown on and stay on your throne. I love that. You can love someone's soul without lowering your standards for their current behavior. You can honor the connection without abandoning yourself. And you can feel the bond without making their confusion your assignment. And that is a very powerful place to be. Because that's where you are. That's where you are. That is where you are. This is you through and through. This is who you embody on the inside, and this is how you're externalizing that right now. The Emperor can be any king he wants to be, and you right now are embodying King of Pentacles energy. And it's because of that self-worth and self-respect. So you can honor the connection without abandoning yourself. And you can feel the bond without making their confusion your assignment. For many of you, this person may begin watching you more closely, honestly. They may check your social media. They may try to fill out your energy. I am looking for signs that you're still open. They may ask mutual people about you. Yeah, they're trying to restore some seeming understanding of you and where they stand with you. So they may send a small message and they may react to something indirectly. They may test the waters before fully stepping forward, is the energy that's coming through here. But for some of you, this person knows that a small gesture may not be enough anymore. They know they cannot just come in casually and expect you to melt. They know they may need to come with more honesty than before. So there may be a delay while they gather courage, honestly. Yeah. While they gather courage and strength, okay? For some, this could look like a message that starts simple but carries emotional weight underneath. Something like, I've been thinking about you. I hope you're doing well would be a good one. I know it's been a while, maybe. I wanted to check on you, perhaps. But energetically, the message underneath may be, I don't know how to say everything yet, but I'm trying to open the door. Now, your guidance is not to overread crumbs. A strong message coming through is don't overread any crumbs that they try to throw you or throw down for you. And your guidance is to observe. Absolutely observe. And take quick and decisive actions. Use your discernment and don't second guess yourself. If they come forward, observe the quality of their energy. Is it clear? Is it respectful? Is it accountable? Is it consistent? Does it bring peace or does it reopen confusion? Because the next movement matters less than the pattern that follows it. A message is not transformation. A confession is not consistency. A return is not automatically repair, I'm hearing. So let them show you not just that you are important to them or that they miss you, but that they have matured. There's been a lot that we've covered here, so let's get into it. Your guidance here is to remain deeply centered. So that is the other energy coming out here with that star and strength energy. Your guidance is to remain deeply centered. Reflect on your restoration and integrate all lessons and prepare for the new phase. Do not abandon yourself because someone finally realizes what you already knew. Do not shrink your standards because someone is having a delayed awakening. Because at the end of the day, this is the energy you're embodying right now. So this is self-leadership, self-authority, self-worth, self-respect, and self-sovereignty. So this is self-direction. And ultimately, it's leading to not only you always seeing the truth, but ultimately you making the best decisions for yourself and the highest good of all. And so my guidance here is that you don't shrink your standards because someone is having a delayed awakening. Don't let their fear become your waiting room. You're being asked to hold the frequency of self-respect. Hold this frequency. That's what it is. So when the King of Pentacles comes out, and the Queen of Pentacles is you holding the frequency on the inside. But this, right, the Queen of Pentacles could be seen as you holding the vibration, okay? The Queen of Pentacles is you holding the vibration. The King of Pentacles is you holding the frequency. And let me explain the difference. The difference is you really want to be embodying them both, right? You want the vibration on the inside and you want to be embodying the frequency on the outside. And ultimately, if you're embodying the King of Pentacles frequency, that means your actions are showing your self-worth. Your actions are abundant actions. Your actions and the decisions that you're making and your behaviors are showing your self-worth, your deservedness, your self-respect, your self-authorship, your control and overall sovereignty over your finances, your body, your work, your material world, and just your overall reality creation here. And it's clear Emperor energy, but it's expressing itself in that way, which makes it King of Pentacles energy. And so that's what is being called to my attention as I bring up the guidance, is that you are being asked to hold that frequency of self-respect. And that means you don't chase. You don't chase. You don't chase, right? Now, the Emperor will go after what he wants. And that's he or she, okay? This is energy. So that can be embodied in a woman or a man. This means that you're a go-getter and you're doing the things where you're going to get what you want. You're doing the things that ultimately not only will lead into your fulfillment, but lead or are the expression of your self-authorship, self-sovereignty, and the self-direction of your life, okay? And that is expressing itself in an abundant way that ultimately is leading to actions that show your self-worth and your overall self-respect. So you don't over explain your worth, right? You don't chase. You don't audition for commitment. You don't try to convince someone that the connection is real. There's no need for that. Emperor energy. You don't make excuses for repeated inconsistency. You don't keep reopening your heart to the same wound without evidence of change. And instead, you remain open to love but devoted to truth. Right? So, since you're devoted to truth but open to love, you remain compassionate but not self abandoning. And that's a huge, huge message coming out with the Strength card. Very compassionate but not self abandoning. You remain spiritually aware but emotionally grounded. You let actions speak and you let patterns reveal. You let time clarify and you let your peace be the judge. So, this is the energy of you letting your peace be the judge. Emperor, Justice, King of Pentacles, King of Swords energy. And because the right person for you will not only recognize your value, right? And that'll be the Two of Cups upright energy. This is someone who recognizes your value. They will honor it. Don't they look like they're honoring it? They just look like they're honoring it in the picture. The right person will not only feel the connection, they will protect it. The right person will not only know you're rare, they'll act like they know. And that is the standard, the new minimal standard. So the soul lesson here is that being the one does not mean you must be the one who waits, carries, fixes, proves, or endures. Sometimes you're the one who awakens someone. And sometimes you're the one who teaches someone what real love feels like. And sometimes you're the one who becomes the mirror they never forgot. But you are always the one for yourself first. And that is the initiation. Because when you become the one for yourself, you stop needing another person's recognition to validate your value. You stop asking, do they know? And you start asking, are they capable of honoring what they know? That question changes everything. Because a person can love you and still not be ready. A person can recognize you and still not be consistent. A person can miss you and still not be mature. And a person can feel the soul connection and still choose fear. So your job is not to deny the connection. Your job is to stop using the connection as a reason to abandon yourself. And that is where your power returns. And a strong message coming through is, if your power has already returned, do not ever give your power away again. And if you are still embarking and implementing this guidance as it's come through, or now you're going to implement it, then don't give your power away ever again once it does return. So that's a strong message coming through. So if you stay in your power, the energy becomes very revealing. This person may feel your absence more clearly. They may begin to understand that your presence was a privilege, ultimately, because you have a healing aura. It attracts blessings to you and those around you. And they may feel the weight of the emotional space they created, ultimately. They may realize that your love was not something to play with now. And they may recognize that you're not standing still in the same place, waiting to be chosen. And that may trigger movement. But whether they move or not, you win by returning to yourself. Because if they come forward correctly, you will be grounded enough to discern it. And if they do not, you will be strong enough to keep rising. And that is the blessing that you are embodying now. You are not powerless here. You are not at the mercy of their timing. And there's something to that, right? We don't make mistakes on this channel. So maybe you're not the mercy of their burdens. Because you are not stuck in their hesitation. You're not defined by their readiness. You are being guided into a higher level of love where recognition is not enough. And the new standard is recognition plus readiness, available to take whatever leap of faith. So that means action. Feelings plus follow through. Where'd they go? Feelings plus follow through. Connection plus consistency. And love plus emotional maturity. The nurturing support that you deserve on an emotional level. And that is what you deserve. So yes, beautiful soul, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful soul. For many of you, they know you are different. They know you're rare. They know there's something about you they have not found elsewhere. They know this connection touched something real, and they know they may have mishandled it, and they know you're not easily replaced, and they may even know deep down that you're the one. But the but is where your discernment must stay awake. Because the question is not only do they know, the question is, will they rise? Will they become honest? Will they become consistent? Will they become accountable? Will they become emotionally available? And will they meet you in truth and honesty? So, will they choose you in a way that brings peace instead of confusion? Until then, your guidance is simple. Stay in your throne, stay in your peace, stay in your standards, and keep your heart open, but keep your self-respect stronger than your longing. Because the love meant for you will not require you to disappear from yourself in order to receive it. And if this person truly knows you are the one, then life may now be asking them to prove they're ready to stand beside the one. Not just recognize you, not just miss you, not just think about you, not just deny you, but honor you. And beautiful soul, that is the difference. That is the big, big difference here. So ultimately, if this reading resonated with you, if this message resonated with your spirit, please like this video, subscribe to Celestial Oracle Codes, and comment. I choose love that honors me, because that is the frequency of this reading. And I want to know that this reading made it to the right people, persons, whoever this reading is for. Or at least comment, I stayed until the end, because that is the frequency of this reading. It's not chasing, it's not waiting in pain, not abandoning yourself, but choosing the kind of love that recognizes your soul and respects your peace. And I really want that for you. So if you made it this far, just let me know in the comments. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for letting me read your energy. As always, I send you all my light and love. I love you. I honor you. Honestly. And I will see you in the next